Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Like Margot from Phippsburg. No, Margot, I don't play the famous people birthday song every single day. In fact, I don't even remember how.
Oh, Margot.
Thanks for your question. Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. Also by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
Very special guest in studio today, Amy Stacey Curtis. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Amy is featured in the winter issue of LA Metro magazine. You can find her under the heading Musical Healing on page 56. She is an award-winning visual artist, and we're going to get into all of that and a whole lot more coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, January 28th.
Southern Maine's 3.8 magnitude earthquake on Monday morning was the 5th strongest in state history. The strongest was a 4.7 magnitude in 2012, followed by a 4.5 in 1982. The quake was felt as far away as Pennsylvania. York County Emergency Management said no damage was reported and no one was hurt.
You had some pictures shaking on the wall at work?
We have a cabinet that when you walk through the office, the doors go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and everyone was seated, and the cabinet was going da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and we're all like, huh? And then someone from around the corner was like, I think it was an earthquake. Okay. If you say so.
I didn't feel a thing, but I will say there was one time yesterday morning that both Lydia and Vinny started barking, and I was like, no one's here. What are you doing?
Was that around 10 o'clock?
I can't exactly remember, but I want to say they probably felt it.
I'm sure they did. Dogs are so perceptive of stuff like that. Yeah.
Amy, did you experience any earthquake activity?
Not a single thing.
No, me neither.
Nothing.
I was like, okay, that happened, I guess. Whatever.
If you say so.
I was wondering because it sort of was in the York Harbor area, and they had issued a warning about tsunamis. Because when you have an earthquake of that magnitude, it can create, underwater waves that created tsunamis.
Should I warn Kevin? He should work from home today. He works right on the pier.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Tell him to stay home.
In the summer, it's great. In the winter,
not so much.
His office is kind of like ours, lots of windows.
Yeah.
It's
He's a hockey player.
Yeah.
He loves it.
He's used to it. Cold drinks.
Governor Mills will deliver her State of the Budget speech tonight at 7 p.m. Mills said her 2-year, $11.6 billion spending plan strikes a balance by investing in core commitments such as public education and health while reducing spending elsewhere.
Lewiston's delegation to the state legislature will hold public office hours at the Lewiston Public Library on Saturday from 10:30 to noon. The event gives residents a chance to meet with their elected officials and discuss legislative and state government matters.
Maine home prices hit a new high in 2024. The median price for a Maine home reached a record $390,200 last year, an increase of over 8% from 2023. The average American home buyer is 56 years old, up 7 years from 2023.
Kind of crazy. The U.S. Internal Revenue Service is rolling out a new tax tool to make filings free and easy for many Mainers. The Direct File program is designed for simple tax situations, such as an employee with a W-2 form, freelancers, gig workers, and those with complex investments will need to use other filing methods. Eligible taxpayers can visit directfile.irs.gov to see if they qualify.
Here we are.
Here's Pam with the weather.
Cloudy today with a high of 31 and a low of 11. A couple inches of snow is expected tomorrow with highs in the 20s and lows in the teens. Sunny on Thursday with highs in the teens and lows in the single digits. There's your answer to how many inches of snow, Sarah.
A couple.
A couple.
I think they're looking for a couple inches, a couple of different days this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw snow. They were predicting kind of a mix, but hopefully it's just snow.
I'll take it. I just want things to not be brown. Whatever that takes.
Everything's rock solid frozen and brown.
Right? Not fun.
In sports, the Celtics lost to the Houston Rockets 114 to 112. Boston will host the Chicago Bulls tomorrow night.
The Bruins visit the Buffalo Sabres tonight at 7.
The Maine Nordiques and the Rochester Junior Americans play on Friday and Saturday in New York.
The NA3 Nordiques snapped a 6-game winning streak with a 3-2 loss to the New Jersey Titans. The Nords will host the Northeast Generals on Friday and Saturday at the Coliseum.
Bates College men's basketball visits Maine Maritime Academy tonight at 7.
CMCC women's ice hockey will host Bates College tonight at 8:50.
On the high school scoreboard in boys basketball, it was Grey New Gloucester over Yarmouth 53 to 40, and Monmouth beat Richmond 83 to 38.
In girls basketball, it was Monmouth Academy over Richmond 31 to 29.
In boys hockey, it was Lewiston over Freiburg Lake Region Oxford Hills 5 to 2.
And in girls hockey, it was Edward Little Levitt Poland Monmouth over St. Dom's 1-0. It was a forfeit. The Saints forfeited their final 5 games of the season due to injuries and a thin roster.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, they only had like 11 players, and they had some injuries down the stretch.
And then shifting is just non-existent.
Right.
These kids are on the ice the whole time.
Yeah. That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is Sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for January the 28th, shall we?
Sorry. Laughing at us.
Amy, what's going on over there?
I just love your simultaneous.
Fine-tuned machine.
See, the next time you come in, you're going to know all the cues, and you'll be able to join us.
And you won't be able to help but join us.
Yeah.
That's right. Amy's barely holding it together over there. We're going to start off with Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings, who is 44 years old today.
Wow. He's had quite a prolific. He's still giggling.
She can't take it.
Quite a prolific career.
The Good Son was a good movie.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also appeared in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I don't remember him in that either. But
All right. Happy birthday,
I'm
Elijah.
trying to find the name.
Lord of the
that
Rings.
Stupid movie.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
That's what we all know.
Yeah,
That's all you need to know. He's Frodo, right?
He was Frodo in Lord of the Rings.
Sarah McLachlan is 57 years old today.
We all know her from the pet commercial
That I immediately changed the channel on.
like every weekend I'm like, can we go to the SPCA? Kevin's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, can I get a puppy? I'm like, oh, all right, fine.
Sarah has sold over 40 million albums worldwide. Amy, you a fan?
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Do you do any of her songs?
Now I'm gonna have to.
You're going to have to. Don't do the one she does for the SPCA.
No.
It's going to bum everybody out.
I'll have to figure out one there. No.
And rounding out FPBs for January the 28th is the one and only Alan Alda, who is 89 years old today. You know him as Hawkeye Pierce from MASH.
When we were kids, did your parents just put MASH on and...
All day, every day.
Yeah, like my dad loved that show.
Yeah.
We watched it every once in a while. My dad was more of a sports. We watched lots of baseball, basketball, not big on football, golf, and candlepin bowling, believe it or not. I'm like...
These are the things your dad watched?
That's what I grew up watching, yes.
We watched
Candlepin and regular 10-pin, yeah. Yep.
The Andy Griffith Show and MASH were like on a constant...
I grew up with MASH. Like MASH, I just remember it always being on.
You hear that music and you're like...
Yeah. Yeah.
89, huh? Good for him,
Yeah, he's had a heck of a career.
I should say.
Yeah. He's received the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. He is a 6-time Emmy Award winner and a Golden Globe Award winner and a 3-time Tony Award winner. And those are your FPBs for January the 28th.
All right. Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Don't miss the January issue of Uncle Andy's Digest, featuring Greater Lewiston Auburn's 30th annual Best Businesses for 2024, plus a Valentine's Day gift guide, events calendar, shout-outs, and plenty of one-liners and jokes guaranteed to put a smile on your face. And be sure to visit UncleAndys.com and enter to win the Sweethearts Contest. You and your sweetie will appear in the February issue and could win a Valentine's Day gift basket. Uncle Andy's Digest, your local guide to, well, just about anything. Now, we shift focus fully to our guest in studio. Amy Stacey Curtis, who we mentioned, is featured in the winter issue of LA Metro Magazine, page 56, if you're reading along at home. Amy, what did that mean to you when you were notified that you were going to be featured in the magazine?
Well, it meant a lot to me, and also that Michael Krapovicki was writing the story. He's been a big support for me. I go every Monday to Fast Breaks and sing at the open mic, and I really appreciate how he supports local musicians and stuff, and I knew that he would do a good job writing it because he's gotten to know me a little bit. So it was really honored.
Right. We had Michael in here a few weeks ago. He said he learned, even though he knew you previously, he learned a lot more about you through that story.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think he realized I had an art career before and stuff. So it was pretty cool to get to know him better.
Yeah.
Nice. And I know you go to Sarah's open mic at Obscura as well, right?
Yes, I go whenever I can.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a while.
It makes
There's
me
one
happy.
Thursday, right?
There is one Thursday, but I won't be there because I have to work. But John Rice is hosting that one.
Nice.
And he's so fun. So definitely show up for that. Yeah.
And
We love
Obscura
having
is
Amy.
fun.
Amy was one of the first people to arrive to my very first open mic at Obscura. And it was
Nice.
such a pleasure to meet her because she brings such a positive energy and she has a great laugh.
And ukulele ladies unite.
That's right. That's right. We gotta.
Is there like a club?
Yeah, you're not
We're not invited.
But Pam's a ukulele owner.
Yeah,
She's got a nice blue one over there.
ukulele.
That's good.
Pam, you're halfway there.
Yeah,
You're there.
that would
Just pick it up and
warrant
strum.
membership.
Yeah, now you you're just going to play the thing.
Just pick it up and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Amy, you touched on your visual art that Michael really wasn't familiar with, and I think a lot of people who see you around the music scene aren't very familiar with. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I'm mostly recognized for an 18-year project that I did from 1998 through 2016. I had set out to do 9 what I called solo biennials throughout the mills in our state. And each exhibit was 22 months of work, and I raised all the money to do the exhibits. By the end of the project, I had raised $150,000, mostly through grassroots efforts and also writing grants and selling drawings that I had done for the purpose to make my work. And I was considered an installation artist, which is essentially making work that only exists while it's installed. And my work happened to be all interactive, so it would have instructions so that people would know how to interact with the work and what I was asking them to do. And this was a huge part of my life. I miss doing it.
Can you give us an example of the interactive art? Like, what would you ask the people to do?
So one of the last pieces that I did, in the end I did 81 interactive installations. There were 9 unique pieces at each exhibit. And the spaces that I used averaged 25,000 square feet, and part of my process was detailing these huge spaces. So literally on my hands and knees cleaning these mill floors that hadn't been used in many, many years. And it was a real honor. One of the pieces was called Memoir 1. And I built 99 white desks and stools, and there were 99 books on the desks, and each book had a different year date. And the dates on the books, the year date spanned from 1918 through 2016, which was the year of that exhibit. And I asked participants to think of a memory, then think about what year that memory took place, and then to write that memory in the book. Or alternatively, you could walk through the deaths and choose a year and try to think of a memory that took place in that year, and then write the memory in that book. And the idea being that once each book had 300 memories in it, then that book would be complete.
Wow, that's so cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
The photos of the different exhibits are fantastic. If you visit amystaceycurtis.com, you can see some of the installations, and it's just like, there's one, the color block one is my favorite. Like seeing somebody in the exhibit, like a full yellow exhibit, and somebody in a red sweatshirt inside of it. It's just like, oh, the contrast of it is so cool. I love it. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just been, so yeah, I'll get into it more, but I had a brain injury, and it kind of affected everything. I really can't do that work anymore. And it's the only kind of work I want to make. Like a lot of people ask me, well, why don't you just concentrate something less ambitious or smaller? And that's just not what I want to do. I'd rather make what I want to make. And what's been great about ukulele playing is it's been fulfilling that thing that I miss, which is audience.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so that's been really wonderful, especially at fast breaks.
Yeah.
I feel like people look forward to my playing. I learn 5 new cover songs every week, and so people look
amazing.
forward to what I'm going to play.
Amy, do you recall when art became such a huge part of your life, specifically visual art? Because I know the music came later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My very first experience was I've been writing about this. I was a little kid. I had a coloring book, and I didn't color in the book. I opted to have a piece of paper next to it and try to draw the lines that were in the book. I was having trouble with this leg on a ballerina, and my mother erased what I had drawn and drew the leg in just so quickly and so adeptly. And then she brought me into her room, and she had a notepad in her desk. And she had been secretly drawing. I had no idea that she could even draw, but she had a whole pad of paper of portraits and hands and feet. And I was just blown away by that. And she didn't say anything. She just showed it to me and then put it back in the drawer. And I think that stuck with me in an unconscious way, because I hadn't thought of that for years.
Yeah. And you're like, I want to do more of that.
Yeah.
I need that in my life.
Fit. Yeah.
You touched on the brain injury, Amy. When did you become aware of that?
My first symptoms, it all kind of happened with a flip of a switch. I had worked all day on some art. It was evening, and I often would veg in the evenings by watching a movie I'd seen hundreds of times. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to watch Deep Impact or Jaws.
Jaws all the way.
Jaws I watch probably every 4 months.
Yes.
Because it's my favorite. And yeah, and I had chosen my movie. I was getting heading toward the bed, and all of a sudden, something happened in my brain, and it started showing me just horrific images in my head, and I couldn't stop them. And I knew something was wrong. And long story short, while we were trying to figure out what's wrong with me, I was in 2 different psychiatric wards. The images wouldn't stop. It was really scary. And I kept telling the doctors, I think there's something physically wrong with my brain. And I was even pointing to a spot on my head, there's something wrong. And I kept being misdiagnosed with a sort of weird late onset schizophrenia. And I kept saying, I'm not hallucinating. I think just because I think in images, because I'm an artist, my brain is showing me things. And then about 6 months into it, I started to lose all control of the muscles in my body. Like my arms and legs would be flailing, my head would be turning back and forth, rotating, and my face was completely polyed, twisted and pulled to the right, and I couldn't speak. It was really hard to speak through what my muscles in my face were doing. And then the doctors started to think, maybe there's something to what Amy's saying about there being something physically.
6 months later.
Yeah.
6 months later.
So frustrating.
But then it took another 15 months. It took 15 months total before I finally talked to a naturopath. Because my work was really familiar in our community, there was obviously a story done about what I was going through, which was really vulnerable feeling because there was a picture of me on my bed with my doggies on the front page of the Sunday paper. And at that time, I still didn't know what was going on. What was great about it was so many people cared about what I was doing that they sent ideas on what it could be, or people I could talk to. They were like encouraging me to go to Mass General. They were encouraging me to try all kinds of things. But this naturopath figured out that I had had Lyme disease and in the past, and that it had injured my brain, impacted my brain. And he said all the things you're experiencing are things that we're finding with people who've had Lyme disease that was never treated or not treated enough. And you basically have had a brain injury, and it's not like we can treat the Lyme disease now that's no longer in your system. In fact, I had spinal taps and things, and that was one of the things they looked at, and it wasn't in my system anymore. Now it's a matter of recovering from this. You gotta figure out how to heal your brain. So I did a lot of trial and error occupational therapy because the people I was working with hadn't seen anything like this before. The person I was working with did a little research, discovered it has some things to do with focus, like focusing on multiple things, or more than one thing at a time can help like quiet the movement. That, and then the naturopath had prescribed different brain strengthening supplements. Over the course of a few years, I was able to progress from wheelchair to walker, the cane, back to my feet, but I was still having trouble speaking. My speech was much worse than this and all the time. And I also had some dystonia still, which is when my arms and wrists were all curled in. And I was just thinking about, okay, it's been like 6 years since I've driven. I'm really missing driving. I'm feeling very backstand. Like go somewhere. And I was thinking about the process of driving and how you have to be able to do multiple things at the same time. And I said, well, I wonder if I practice doing something like daily, just more than one thing at a time, like multiple things at the same time, if that will help. I went on Facebook Marketplace and I bought this ukulele. And that I'm doing a lot of things at the same time. I'm strumming, I'm finding the chords, I'm fingering the chords, I'm reading music I've written out, and I'm singing all at the same time. And within a week of playing the ukulele, I was capable, for the first time in 6 years, of normal for me speech. And it lasted continuously, I noticed, unless I was stimulated, like overstimulated. Like right now, I'm palsy because a new face, bright light, in an environment I'm not familiar with. So that's a continuous thing, it seems like, so far. But it's gotten better, like, even if I am overstimulated, my pulse is better than it was over 2 years ago when I started doing this. Even when I'm overstimulated, I'm much more understandable. And then if I'm just out in the regular world, my speech is normal now, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, I bet.
A lot, that it's normal most of the time. And then because of what's happening in my brain, it's, and I don't really know exactly, I'm sure there are speech therapists out there who would be able to explain why playing the ukulele normalizes my speech. But without playing the lately, if I'm just singing in a stimulated environment, I'm still kind of palsied while I'm singing. It has to be doing the multiple things at the same
So
Incredible.
amazing.
time. Your brain is weird, and every brain is different.
There's so much happening
There
in it.
is,
Like there's
yeah.
just so much, and there's so much that normal, not neuroscientists don't know
Right.
about it. Like
Yeah.
there's like a million things happening in there
Yeah.
all at one time. Like,
Yeah.
we're just walking around in bags of skin, wondering what's going on. Like,
What is happening?
what's going on? We don't know.
Yeah.
Why do I do that?
Yeah, and then I try to whatever opportunity I can find, I try to share this story because I'm hoping that there will be a vaccine for Lyme disease soon. Like puppies get a chew that they can, we want to chew too.
Right.
I want to chew.
Yeah, I want to chew.
I'll take it daily. Whatever I got to do,
whatever
right?
you gotta do.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
you got to do.
Yeah, it's interesting too. The result of Lyme disease is different in everybody too. Like there are so many ways that it affects people. It seems like something that we should be prioritizing, especially with the migration of any tick-borne illness that seems to be coming further this way as we get warmer. It seems like more research should be devoted to
I
Yeah,
was gonna
more
say.
people are being diagnosed with Lyme disease. And I think that another reason I share the story is there's a lot of people out there who probably don't know what's happening to them. And it just gives them, you really have to go to a naturopath or someone who does a deeper dive to see if you had Lyme disease and that might be what's caused what's happening to you. So sharing seems to be like a good thing to do, even if
Yeah.
it just helps a person.
Yeah, like you guys said, it's happening more and more. I'm hearing about it more and more, and every time I hear about it, I feel like people go so long without it being diagnosed as Lyme disease. And it's like, why is that looked at so far down the road?
Why is that the last thing?
Well, it's the last thing because...
Yeah. No, that's true. But why isn't it the first thing that comes to
Right,
mind?
I mean,
You're
it
having
should be-
neurological issues. Like, what's going on?
As often as we hear about it, it should be, early on with certain symptoms that
Yeah.
these things are being checked.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
You just have common sense.
You know a lot. Right.
Amy, had you ever played a musical instrument before the ukulele?
I had sung my whole life, mostly in my car. And I've sung since I was like 2 or 3 years old, so I would sing myself to sleep in bed every night. And then when I was like 25, I did memorize 7 different classical works on a piano, all just from memory. So if I went to play them now, I wouldn't be able to play them. including a song by Enya, and then like Moonlight Sonata, and just it was so much fun. It's all math, and I really enjoyed that a lot. It was just kind of self-soothing before you could scroll. It was pre-scrolling.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably better for you anyway.
Yeah.
than the scrolling.
And I just sung, in my car. And then I worked at Geiger back in the mid-90s, so like 98. And there were some fellows that worked there in the room next to me that used to jam every Thursday, and Otis failed. And I approached him and I said, I can sing. I would love to like jam with you guys. I'd never done that before. I didn't know what I was talking about. I just wanted like to make some friends. And he said, sure. And so I went over and we called ourselves Otis. This is like way back, and we got this neat opportunity to record 3 songs at a recording studio with some prize somebody won on the radio, and they gave it to us. And with them, I wrote 3 songs, and we played them. So that's like the only like other real like musical experiences that I have.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was very fun. We never played out. We just played in the kitchen.
Those are sometimes the best
Yeah.
jams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Sarah, what was your impression of Amy the first time you saw her perform?
That first of all, the pipes on this lady is that was like my first thought. Like she opened her mouth and I was like, what? But also just really impressed with like her ability to take a song that you wouldn't expect to hear on the ukulele and play it and make it sound really cool. Like, no, like, I don't know if I would have ever thought to play the Ramones or Nine Inch Nails or what, those types of, but also like you make it seem so cool on the ukulele. Yeah. Like you crush every song so well. And that was my first thought was like, that's a lot of talent in one little body. Also just slightly jealous, but whatever. That's fine. What? I'm not going to lie.
No.
I'm jealous of keeping it real. Musically inclined.
Don't lie about it.
Amy, you play a little bit of everything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right? Everything from like Enya to Velvet Revolver.
So talented. It's nuts.
But she's learning 5 cover songs a week.
Yeah.
This
That's
is part of
impressive,
my
yeah.
self-prescribed occupational therapy.
Yeah.
I play an hour every day. I'll go to Simona's every other week. Or someone will drive me in the car, and whenever I hear a song that I want to try, I text it to myself so I don't forget it. I don't have any memory.
I do that too.
Yeah. It's not just you.
I do that too.
Yeah, I don't think it's a brain injury. I think I just don't have any memory anymore.
Yeah.
And I text it to myself, and then right after fast breaks, I start writing out the words in these books that I have amassed. I've played over 400 songs now.
Wow.
And on Wednesday or Thursday, I figure out what chords I want to do and kind of rough it out. And then by Monday, I'm like ready to play. And that's really powerful. Last night was wonderful. It was really packed, and it was one of those times where everyone quiets down. Like even if it's really packed because everyone's listening to you, and it's super powerful when that happens.
Yeah. You command a room for sure with your voice.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
And somebody gave me a tip too.
Woohoo!
I know.
It wasn't like you know what you should do. It was like an actual tip.
It was actual money.
But not a verbal tip.
Nice, good.
A tip that folds.
Yeah,
Those verbal tips are no good.
I take a cab usually to fast breaks, so it's really helpful. And then I beg for a ride when I get there to get home.
It's been working out pretty good. Yeah.
Been getting there.
It helps that you're so likable.
Yep. And I'm not gonna murder you in your car. They know that I'm not capable. Yeah. I've just got my ukulele.
She's safe.
She's harmless.
Oh my God.
She fits right in.
Yeah, she sure does.
I promise I won't shank you.
Yeah. I promise.
And if she hit you with the ukulele, it would just break.
Yeah. And that means too much to me.
Right.
No, not
Not
the
where.
ukulele.
Just like, what else could I hit you with? I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I noticed on your Facebook, Amy, you post a lot of videos of some of the songs you're learning as well. So.
I have been posting on Facebook, Instagram, a little bit on YouTube, and mostly on TikTok. And sadly, TikTok is now wiggy. I had one video actually go viral of me singing Urgent by Foreigner, and it was one of the earlier ones I posted. It has over 600,000 views.
Wow.
And I have 26,000 followers on there, and now I can't even access it. So I was one of the percentage of people that when I got the notice that said, so TikTok is down, I removed the app from my phone, just peeled it off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And then got the message later that you can be back on, but you can't download again. But I think I'm hoping my account is still visible on there, because I'm trying to publish a memoir about all of this. And that is an important part of platform to get published. You need to have some kind of platform. And that was like a good proof of platform, that especially that one video. Hopefully. And that just, obviously, I really appreciated the community on there. There's a big disability community that I was really connected to, lots of friends. People who likewise kind of feel isolated. And I really miss being able to drive. I'm hoping to be able to drive sliding it again this year. It's a goal. We'll see. It's so weird to not have driven in like 7 years.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I used to drive everywhere.
Right.
Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. So if you want to hear some of Amy's work, you can follow her on Facebook. You can go to the Monday night open mics, and you can also see where she's going to be playing on her Facebook page because you put your dates on there as well. We're a little greedy here at Lydia's Lunch Bunch, Amy. We were hoping that you would play some songs for us this morning. We'll have a little Tuesday morning concert series here on the Lunch Bunch.
Yeah.
I remember reaching out to Amy to be a guest on the show, and then I panicked because I reread my message. At no point did I ask her to bring her ukulele. So I'm going to make sure I do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I followed up, and if you wouldn't mind just sharing your talents with us here on the podcast, we'd sure appreciate it.
Down around the corner, half a mile from here, you see them long trains running and you watch them disappear without love. Where would you be now? Without love, love, love. You know I saw Miss Lucy down along the tracks. She lost her home and her family, and she won't be coming back without love. Where would you be now? Without love, love, love. Well, the Illinois Central and the Southern Central Freight gotta keep on pushing, mama, 'cause you know they're running late without love. Where would you be now? Without love, love, love. Well, the pistons keep on turning and the wheels go running round, and the steel rays like cold hot on the mountains they go down without love. Where would you be now, 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 now? Without love, love. Ooh, where would you be now? Got to, baby, baby, won't you move it down? Won't you move it down?
Yeah. That's great stuff.
Uh-huh.
This is Doobie Brothers, right?
Doobies.
Doobies.
All right.
Last night a little dancer came dancing to my door. Last night a little angel came pumping on my floor. She said, come on, baby, I got a license for love. And if it expires, pray up from above, because in the midnight hour, she cried more, more, more. With a rebel yell, she cried more, more, more. In the midnight She don't like slavery, she won't sit and bake. But when I'm tired and lonely, she sees me beg. What set you free and brought you to me, babe? What set you free? I need you here by me. Because in the midnight hour, she cried more. With a rebel yell, she cried more. In the midnight hour, babe, more. With a rebel yell, more. I walk the world with you, babe. 1,000 miles with you. I dried your tears of pain 1,000,000 times for you. I'd sell my soul for you, babe. For money to burn with you. I'd give you all and have none, babe. Just to have you here by me. Because in the midnight hour, she cried more. With a rebel yell, she cried more. In the midnight hour, babe, more. With a rebel yell, more.
Yes.
More.
You know what I love about Amy's performances is that I hear the lyrics a lot better with your performance than I do in the originals, and I'm actually learning the lyrics as you go along. Oh, that's what he said.
I've been singing the wrong words all this time.
That's so great.
Well, it's not far down to paradise. At least it's not for me. And if the wind is right, you can sail away and find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles. Just you wait and see. Believe me. It's not far to Never Land. No reason to pretend. And if the wind is right, you can find the joy of innocence again. Oh, the canvas can do miracles. Just you wait and see. Believe me. Sailing takes me away to where I've always heard it could be. Just a dream in the wind to carry me. Soon I will be free. Fantasy, it gets the best of me when I'm sailing. All caught up in the reverie. Every word is a symphony, won't you believe me? Sailing takes me away to where I've always heard it could be. just a dream in the wind to carry me. Soon I will be free.
That's so pretty.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to find one that I learned just this week. So this is one of the ones that I sang at fast break last night. This is a song by the Pretenders.
Oh, I love it already.
All that spam.
Got brass in pocket. Got bottle. I'm gonna use it. Intention. I feel inventive. Gonna make you notice. Gun motion. Restrained emotion. Been driving. Detroit leaning. No reason. Just seems so pleasing. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms. Gonna use my legs. Gonna use my style. Gonna use my side step. Gonna use my fingers. Gonna use my imagination codes. 'Cause I'm gonna make you see there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. I got rhythm, can't miss a beat. Got new sky, sorry. Got something winking at you. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms. Gonna use my legs. Gonna use my style. Gonna use my side step. Gonna use my fingers. Gonna use my imagination codes. 'Cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here, no one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. Anywhere you are.
That was awesome.
Beautiful.
That was a bonus, closing with the Pretenders.
Thank you.
Love it. Huge fan.
Thank you, Pretenders.
Amy, what are some of the reactions you get after you perform and people want to come talk to you? What are they saying to you?
So a lot of people will come up to me over these past 2+ years and say, I had a stroke, or I had a brain injury, or I have a mother with dementia, and music's been really helping me or them, and they share their story with me, which is really great. I've had one of my favorite moments was with and then another kind of thing that happened. This man came up to me and he said, I'm in a hair band, big hair band. I don't know what's it called.
Yeah.
It's like heavy metal.
Hair metal.
Hair metal band.
Yeah.
And he said he had just heard me play Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh my God.
And he had like a little bit of tears coming down his eyes. And he said, I feel like that's the way Ozzy like originally wanted to sing that song. Like it was like he was talking about his pain and that he would have really liked to have sung it that way. And that's how that song should be sung. And he was just like, he said, we just performed that song the other day, and we played it the way Ozzy plays it, but it should be played like that. And it meant a lot to me. I get a lot of people crying, which feels really good.
You like making people cry?
Yeah. I feel like I've moved them. That feels good. And people would cry at my art exhibit too, and I just kind of miss like having that kind of impact. So this has been really nice, and I do love those moments when people, like even if it's crowded, they will quiet right down and listen. It's so powerful. When you can hear a pin drop while you're playing, and it's just everybody's listening to you. It's an incredible feeling. I like it. I'm an attention person. I like having attention. I'm an extrovert, and I like people.
Amy, you are a gem. Thank you so much for your time today, and thanks for sharing your gift with us.
You are so welcome.
We certainly appreciate it.
We enjoy
Gosh
it for
darn
sure.
ray of sunshine.
Yeah. Sarah's so jealous.
So jealous. If only I could love you more.
If only.
Only I could just love you a little bit more. It's not possible.
So if folks want to learn more about you and come see you live, they can follow you on Facebook?
Yeah, that's a good thing to do,
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot.
I just followed your YouTube channel too. I subscribed to
Thank
your
you.
YouTube channel. That seems like a good way to keep up with what's going on with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be posting there a lot more once I figure out that algorithm.
Darn old TikTok.
I know, it was so easy.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
I'll get there.
She is Amy Stacey Curtis, and you can find her in the winter issue of LA Metro Magazine, where Amy shares her story through the writing of Michael Krapovicki. An incredible story. You heard a lot of it here today, but there is more in print. Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com.